So which country should specialize in which product? We've got Fredonia. So each worker in these countries can produce. So one worker can produce 4 beer in Fredonia or 1 wine. In Liberland, they can produce 3 beer or 4 wine. So it would make sense intuitively that Fredonia should produce beer and Liberland. Ever notice in economics textbooks it comes down to drugs and alcohol? Should produce wine. And it says, suppose that initially the working population of each country is 20 million, with 10 million working in each industry. What is the total output of the 2 countries? Well, so they each have 20 million. And now they've got 10 working in each industry. So that means Fredonia is producing 80 pickles, 40 liters of beer, and 10 liters of wine. And Liberland is doing the same. So they are producing 30. I don't know why I want to jump ahead. 40, there we go, times 10, and 40 liters of wine. So then it says, what is the total output of the 2 countries? So to get that, you just add up the total. So we've got 40 liters of beer, 40 million, I should say. I shouldn't forget my units. I'm always taking marks off you guys for that. And 30 million liters of beer from Liberland, so that's a total of 70 million units. With wine, it is 10 million coming from Fredonia and 40 coming from Liberland, so that is 50 million liters of wine. So then it says, suppose that each country decides to specialize in the product in which it has an advantage. What will be the total output of each product, and what are the gains from trade? So, remember, they have 20 million workers. And we said Fredonia was going to specialize in beer, so all of their workers are going to go into the production of beer. That means 0 of their workers go into the production of wine, so they will not make any wine. Liberland also has 20 million workers, so they are going to put all of their workers in wine and produce 0 beer. And then 20 million workers will go into wine, and they will produce 80 million liters of wine. So the total after trade is 80 million liters of wine and 80 million liters of 80 million liters of beer and 80 million liters of wine. So now if we want to figure out the gains from trade, So before trade, they were producing 70 million beer and 50 million wine. Okay. So 70 million beer and 50 million wine. After trade, they were producing 80 million beer and 80 million wine. So the gains from trade are now an extra 10 million liters of beer being made, and they can be sold to other countries, and an extra 30 million liters of wine are being made, and they can also be sold to other countries. Now, sometimes you can have a negative gain of trade, so the joint output theoretically can be negative. But here, it's positive.